Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Hello, welcome back once again to another BoshNRoll video. I'm playing Legacy today, and this is a league from Patreon subscriber Chris. And this is where Chris wanted to start in the new post-Oko, post-Astrolabe, post-Dreadhorde Arcanist world. And this is Blue-Black Ninjas. So this is a deck that I played probably 7-8 months ago on the channel at this point. And the deck, basically what it wants to do is play Ornithopter or Changeling Outcast on turn 1, and then attack and put in a ninja on turn 2. The best one is Yuriko Tiger Shadow. If you're not familiar with ninjutsu, I guess I should take a step back. If an attacking creature goes unblocked, you can pay the ninjutsu cost of a ninja and switch that ninja into play, tapped and attacking, and put the unblocked creature into your hand. I'm pretty sure the flavor of that is that the creature was in disguise, and surprise, this Ornithopter was a ninja the whole time, and it reveals itself just in time to hit you. So that's how ninjas work. Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, is kind of the ninja queen here. So her ninjutsu cost is blue-black, and whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, so not just her, any ninja, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to the card's converted mana cost. So you get like a Dark Confidant flip, but they take the damage, and they take the damage from combat. And Ingenious Infiltrator, same thing, but whenever a ninja deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So also whenever a ninja, but you get the card, but they don't take the damage. Same cost, blue-black. Notable ninjas in the deck include Changeling Outcast. This card is unblockable, so a 1/1 unblockable is not particularly exciting in general in Legacy Magic, but if it's also triggering Yuriko and Infiltrator, it gets a whole lot better. Also, not only is this a ninja, but it is a Thopter, and so is Ornithopter, which is why Retrofitter Foundry is in this deck. This is a 1-mana artifact. Pay 3, untap it. Pay 2, tap, create a 1/1 servo. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice a servo, create a 1/1 flying Thopter. And tap it, sack a Thopter, create a 4/4 construct artifact creature token. So, you have to play these shitty Ornithopters to turn on your ninjas. What are you going to do with this card in the mid-game? Turn it into a 4/4 right away. It's already a Thopter. You don't have to work your way up the Retrofitter Foundry chain. So you can puke out 4/4s pretty quickly with this deck. You can also ninja, and on outside of those cards, you have the typical like Delver, Death Shadow sort of disruption package. You got forces, dazes, and cantrips, tie it all together, some removal spells, and this is just a tempo deck. You're trying to get over the finish line before they get ahead of you. This deck was really good the first time I played it, and then it slowly fell off as people got better and better at building Dreadhorde Arcanist decks. Like, why would you play Ornithopter and try to make Yuriko work when you can just play Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is more powerful than this anyway, and doesn't take 2 cards to make it happen? So that's kind of why ninjas fell off. Oko also a huge problem for the deck. The ninjas tried to adapt and play Oko itself, but eventually the deck sort of just fell off. But let's try it. It's back. The Snoko decks are gone. Daze is a lot better in the format right now. There's no Dreadhorde Arcanist to compete with. Yuriko is the new Dreadhorde Arcanist, and let's see if we can sneak in and infiltrate some people's libraries and win some games with ninjas. I'm on the draw in round 1. So this hand doesn't have a 1 or 0 drop. It is on the draw. It does have Land Ponder. That land is non-basic, and I do have Double Force. I'm going to keep this, though it's not quite ideal. I think it is still keepable. Bloodstained Mire, are you Goblins or are you Reanimator? Oh, that worked. I'll pitch Force of Negation. They're not going to have a lot of non-creature spells I need to counter. So this could be tough, or it could be great, depending on how this goes, I guess. So I can lead on Underground Sea and Ponder, Or I could play Prismatic Vista, get basic Island and Ponder, but that makes the Brainstorm and the Ponder next turn worse if I use my fetch land now, but this is a Wasteland deck. But it's also a Rishadan Port deck, so I could get pinched either way. I'm just going to Ponder. Daze, Baleful Strix, and Infiltrator. Strix is actually pretty good. And I will put the Daze in my hand. Like Strix blocks Goblin Lackey. It also turns into a Yuriko. If I get wasted, that's going to be kind of shitty, but remember that time I pitched Force of Negation? That's okay though. We survived the initial Goblin Lackey blast. That's the first test in a matchup like this. And now I actually have a creature in play, and Daze isn't super devastating. Like if I had to Daze something that turn, it would have been really shitty for me. Alright, Yuriko, let's go. Why would they fetch right now? Do they have Tarfire, or are they just don't want to draw a land, I guess? They play something like Goblin Matron, I will definitely Daze it. If they think, oh, Munitions Expert, yeah, I can Daze that. Yeah, let's get you out of here. I do actually need a creature in play to gain some momentum. Nice. So if they Violin Lackey, that would kind of suck, but they didn't have Lackey last turn. Finding that basic swamp's pretty nice now. I don't have to worry about Wasteland, but they didn't make a land drop last turn, so I don't think they have Wasteland anyway. I'm a little worried about them Viling and Lackey, but that's about the only thing I'm worried about. So here comes Yuriko. She's going to deal damage. I'm going to get a card in my hand. They're going to Violin Lackey and have Muxus, and then I lose. Hope that doesn't happen. All right, so Retrofitter Foundry. 4/4s are pretty good against goblins, but I don't currently have any Thopters in play. But finding the Foundry means that top decking Thopter is a lot better because Changeling Outcast and Ornithopter are both pretty bad at this stage of the game. Shit. You had Caracas, you monster? Okay. That slows me down a lot and sucks really hard. Deck does not play Wasteland or anything that can deal with that. I'm going to lead on Strix. Guess I probably should have let on Ponder. Yeah, whoops. Alright, that's fine. Ornithopter, okay. And a Genius Infiltrator. Okay, so I have a Goblin Enabler, or Goblin, a Ninja Enabler, 2 Ninja Enablers, and actual ninjas I want to put into play now. So if they put the shields down off this Caracas, I'm gonna draw 4 cards, and they're gonna take damage equal to 2 of them. If they don't leave the Caracas shields down, I'll just Ingenious Infiltrator them and make a 4/4 out of my Ornithopter. I wish this was a Bird Thopter. Clearly an artifact. Why isn't it a Thopter? It has wings and it's an artifact. I need a Flavor Judge ruling. This should become a 4/4 if I wanted to. Alright, this Bio was a pretty bad top deck at this stage of the game, but this other one's already on 3, which is definitely the danger zone. Like they can go like end step, Violin Matron, find Ringleader, and then just have a million goblins. There's the Infiltrator. So I think I actually want to Brainstorm, but I guess I don't need to do it right away. Do I even attack with Baleful Strix, or is that greedy? I guess I should attack with both. Infiltrator. God, they're so lucky they have that Caracas. I'd be going off if they didn't. Alright, so I draw a card here. I think I knew that was there. Whoops. That's okay, I have Brainstorm. So my plan is to Ornithopter and Retrofitter Foundry. Wow, that's a lot of Thopters. So I'm gonna get rid of the Swamp and one of the Outcasts. I just want to make really sure this Lackey doesn't hit me. And I can start pooping out 4/4s. And I want to keep the Yuriko in hand just to keep them honest. Like, if at any point they tap out of this Caracas, I want them to take 1,000,000. Alright, the 4/4 Express is online. It will depend on if they have Patron / Ringleader available to them right now. They have produced 2 lackeys this game and not shown me anything that they would actually want to put in with them. Also, the Yuriko in hand is kind of functioning as a Rishadan port of my own. Like, they just can't tap this Caracas, or else they get Yuriko'd. That's not bad. Ooh, they didn't vial anything in, and they left this vial on 3. That's weird to me. Like, if you didn't have a 3, you just don't want to draw 4. I wish I had a counterspell. Okay, this could be troublesome. Pile Driver, Ringleader, and Prospector. Okay, that's not the worst. Hopefully they just don't know how... Uh-oh. They have Trash Master. No, okay. Yeah, hopefully they just don't know how Retrofitter Foundry works. That would be great. Alright, there's Prospector. It certainly looks like they're trying to attack here. Oh, baby. Oh, you didn't know? Surprise. So I'm going to block the Lackey with Ornithopter and then eat this War Chief for free. Whoops. I can't imagine they would have done that if they knew what they were signing up for. And they tapped out of Caracas to make it happen. Time to get punished. So I can ponder to set up this Yuriko. Show me 2 Force of Wills. Fatal Push is really good. I'll just put that in my hand. Then I'm gonna shuffle. Let's just bash. Okay, so I'm gonna draw 4 cards here. They're gonna take a bunch of damage. They're taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from combat. If I flip a single Force of Will off Yuriko, they're dead. So I'm actually gonna stack the Infiltrators first, because if I draw Brainstorm off of them, I can set up a Yuriko. Hello. Show me a Force of Will. Let's try to do this. Bummer. All right, that's fine though. They can take 3 damage here. If I let one of the Yuriko's triggers resolve first, then... Oh wait, what just happened? Where did this Ingenious Infiltrator come from? I'm confused. What just what just happened? Where did this card come from? I put back Outcast and Daze, and then suddenly they're at -1 from an Ingenious Infiltrator trigger. Feels Daze. I don't know what just happened. Was that a bug? I'm so confused. I'm gonna have to rewatch this. Okay. That was weird. I put back 2 cards. I cast Brainstorm. I don't know. Okay. All right. Get it together. Plague Engineer. I imagine that's specifically for this matchup, or at least very close to it. Back to Basics is also very good against goblins. I just have to figure out how many I actually want to play. Brazen Borrower is also another removal spell, kinda. So Force of Negation is coming out. I don't really like Force of Will either. They have a lot of Cavern of Souls. They have Aether Vial. They have a lot of redundant kind of spells. Like turn 1 Lackey when I don't have a removal spell is the only time I want Force, and they also need to not have Cavern. So that's tricky to deal with. These are 100%, so they're coming in first, and then after that, Daze, probably my next worst card. So Brazen Borrower, 2 Back to Basics. Thoughtseize is an option. Like if it gives me another 1 mana interaction spell. Like if they play Lackey on turn 1 and I can't answer it or block it, I could Thoughtseize like the Muxus or the Ringleader or whatever out of their hand and try to beat them that way. So I am not sure Thoughtseize is better than any of the cards that are already in the deck. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Back to Basics is solid, but not like GG instantly solid, so I don't need all 3. Like I'm not playing against lands or Cloud Post here. All right, have a turn 2 Ninja. Let's just hope they don't have a turn 1 Lackey. Please play Aether Vial or nothing. Land go. Okay, good. It's not Lackey. I'll take it. Palace on 0. Okay, that's pretty good. Good thing I have the other one. I actually have the much better one in this particular circumstance. Like this is also a ninja for triggering my ninjas with. They're over there like, damn. That's not the one I was looking for. All right, that's why I cut the forces. So they could Munitions Expert and pick this off. Oh, that's not red mana. Or not black mana, so we're good there. Look at all these juicy non-basics though. Piling it up. Okay, this creature is unblockable. So it's time to not be blocked. This Aether Vial's really scary. Like, I think Back to Basics is gonna mostly take out what they'd like to do here, but the Vial is gonna keep them playing the game. This thing has Pro Blue though, the pile driver, so Ingenious Infiltrator got its 1 card and now it's on basically permanent blocking duty, unless they start bashing with pile driver. So blocking duty's not bad in the face of just trying to stay alive while we stabilize around this Aether Vial. All right, the old in for 1. Okay, got a long-term plan here. I'm gonna Back to Basics now. Then I can bounce the Aether Vial, and I just have to deal with whatever's left. So the War Marshal will just die in the upkeep. Uh-oh. Oh, they're gonna munitions expert? Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm taking 7. All right, so this actually, I'm in trouble to the board. Them having a 2-drop there was the worst. Literally can't pay for that. If they have War Chief, I think I'm dead. Or the other one, the +1/+1 Chieftain. Is that what it's called? Yeah, basically any 3-drop here is a problem. Because all their 3-drops are the lords that give haste and stuff. Yeah, Matron can find one of them for next turn, or can find the ringleader if they plan on ticking up, or the Trash Master, which answers my artifacts and is also a lord. Yeah, I don't think I'm winning this. I need to draw a Plague Engineer off the top. Yeah, there's Chieftain. Alright, deck Plague Engineer off the top is the plan. That was not Plague Engineer. And I'm pretty far away from Murderous Cut. Yeah, I cannot win this game. Okay, yep, they were on the play with a really good Goblin start. I was just a little too slow. Got that sweet Aether Vial action. On the play, I could bring in my Thought Seizes. Do I think Brazen Borrower is actually good? The question. Is it better than Thoughtseize, I guess is a better question. And if I draw it in the mid game, it's a million times better. On exactly turn 1, it's worse. All right, under those circumstances, I think I want the Borrowers. Maybe I want another Force of Will over one of the Borrowers, or over the Back to Basics. No, the Back to Basics is too good. Like, it also controls Caracas over Yuriko. Yeah, I'm not cutting that. Do I want another Force of Will? Interact with Aether Vial, basically. No, fuck it. Same deck. Let's go. I thought about it, decided that's not where I want to be. Let's just draw a Plague Engineer. That's my plan this time. We do have a Plague Engineer, land 2 Ponders. I'm going to keep this. Need to keep hitting land drops and keep this game moving forward. The perfect Ponder would find Ornithopter and Swamp. Nope. Uh-oh. Still a Plague Engineer, though. That can pick up a lot of problems. Please guess Aether Vial. Or nothing. Oh, nothing. So nothing go from Goblins is not something you see very often. Okay, I'm not going to shuffle this. I do need this land drop. Do I want to get Retrofitter into play or leave up Fatal Push? I think I'm going to leave up Fatal Push. I really hope I don't get Wastelanded. Or Marshall. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to play Retrofitter there. What am I hoping to hit with Fatal Push? All right, so I'm showing them loud and clear right here that I don't have a third land, which is really, really shitty because I have double Plague Engineer. If they wasteland me here, I am going to be in the Stone Age. Those 7 cards in hand. All right, not wasteland. Gods be praised. So if they have Chieftain, they can't really attack with it because I'll just eat it. If they have War Chief, they can't really attack with it. War Chief doesn't buff the team, so Plague Engineer still plays. I just really need my top card to be a land. Not blocking a Goblin token. Because if my top card is not a land, then I can still Yuriko and try to keep things moving forward. Yeah, I'm not going to fall for that. All right, Matron. All right, if they get Chiefed in here, then Plague Engineer will be a complete blowout. But I do need to draw the land. This is so stressful. So tense. This is good magic. All right, they got Ringleader, which means they're not planning on wasting me next turn. Please deck, draw land. Oh my god. Sweet relief. Bang. I will choose Goblin, believe it or not. And I'm not going to attack because I don't think this 1 damage is going to matter much. But if they jam a haste creature and get in, I don't want to have to trade my engineer for it. Like, I'm fine just putting the walls up here. Once I get the second engineer into play, I'm not sure. Oh shit. I was about to say Pyrokinesis is like the card they could have here. But okay. I've been Pyrokinesis. So it costs them 2 cards to cast this. They pitch a Matron. Baleful Strix replaced itself, and Plague Engineer killed 3 things when it came into play. So I'm way ahead on that, but Ringleader is about to reload the hand. And here's what I was saying, with even if they had the Wasteland, they were not like in a big hurry to use it because they really want a Ringleader. So my only black source is non-basic. I'm going to get my other engineer into play. This Muxus is interesting because they're probably not in a hurry to activate Wasteland. Oh, that was so good. I'm going to play the other one. This will at least control how explosive they can get. Like this Munitions Expert can deal like 1 damage right now. Matron just dies when it comes into play. They can't like explode on me with a bunch of tokens and Pile Driver right now. If they waste me, I can float black and Fatal Push their 4-drop. But wasting me, like they're 1 mana away from Muxus, and wasting me takes them away from that. So it's actually a pretty tough call. This is going to die and deal 1 damage. Do they have another one? Yeah, that didn't do what you wanted it to. All right, now the tension is, do they have something that deals 1 damage, or was that just the full whoopsie doozies? If I can get to an untap with, okay, they did have Pyrokinesis pitching Muxus, wow, okay. Okay, so they did Munitions Expert for no reason. Okay, All right, that's gone. Oh, they said it was a misclick. I believe it. It's a pretty bad one. But I guess they can just get Muxus with this or get another ringleader. Anything they get is pretty bad for me. So Muxus is the worst one. It would be a great turn to draw back to basics. I am going to Fatal Push this thing. I'd Plague Engineer leave play, so I have Revolt on deck. Alright, I got lands now. Lands going nuts. So I can just hardcast Yuriko. And play Retrofitter Foundry, and I'm holding up Murderous Cut if I do all that. Yeah, that's not bad. And now I'm pretty well out of range of Wasteland. Yeah, the double Pyrokinesis has been brutal. I did board out most of my counterspells, so that is the game I signed up for. I think on the level system, maybe Force of Will is right. Like, having seen all these Pyrokineses, like, if I pivot my entire game plan to just protect the Queen of Resolve, Plague Engineer, and keep it in play, then I should have had all 4 of my forces in play. So I'm not sure if that is the right thing to do. It's just a thing I can do. So they play Chieftain and attack with both creatures. I can block Matron and cut Chieftain. This mana does not cast Munitions Expert. Guess we'll see how this goes. Okay, it just didn't go at all. All right. I'm still gonna cut this Chieftain. Now they have to block with Yuriko. Or they have to block Yuriko if they don't want to lose everything. I could bounce Matron, but I'm pretty sure making them block is better. Like, Matron is not a card you want to let them reset. And now they have to calculate, like, is having a Goblin in play better than me getting a random card? Yep, I would also block there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does 5 mana do anything that 2 mana doesn't? No. So yeah, I can make a servo and cast Brazen Borrower this turn, so I can deal with like 2 hasty attackers. Land Muxus is the thing that I just really don't want to have to deal with. Gang Lieutenant, that's a pretty good one. Target player loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. All right. So they can triple block Yuriko. Trying to think of how I can blow this out, because like if I try to bounce one of the tokens, they can sack it, and that fizzles the fairy body on Brazen Borrower. All right, make a servo. Back up Yuriko. So if I attack with both of these, if they triple block Yuriko, I can put in Yuriko with the servo. Or if they just make normal blocks, yeah, they just want to chump and block, that's fine too. Alright, so now I can make a Thopter, untap, make a servo. Yeah, so they're on the just buy time plan rather than try to remove Yuriko plan. Oh shit, now they have Muxus. Bad. After they had to pitch one, they found another. Oh my god, they hit Skirk Prospector. That was the worst Muxus I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Alright. We take those. Muxus, not so grandy. They probably have a third one in hand, it doesn't matter. They don't really have attacks, though, unless they want to start losing goblins. And they do have this 4/4 in play that casting Brazen Borrower on is not really what I want to do. I guess I could just cast Brazen Borrower as a 3/1, and that would connect with a Yuriko and pick Brazen Borrower back up. That's actually not bad. All right, I'm going to make a 1/1 and cast Brazen Borrower in just regular flying mode. Fatal Push, not bad. So I can Fatal Push this Sling Gang Lieutenant because Brazen Borrower will leave play this turn. So will Yuriko because Legend Rule. Keep this one. I guess the question is, do I even care about Sling Gang Lieutenant? Like, do I want to save this Fatal Push for a Lord off the top? So that turns on the Fatal Push at will, so there's not really any rush here. Trying to find that Plague Engineer. What are they doing with all this mana? They're making me nervous. They probably should have floated blue there because they already know about Brazen Borrower. Oh, I have Retrofitter Foundry in play, so I always have a mana sink. I didn't necessarily give anything away there. But I didn't not give it away either. Yeah, I'll make a servo with that floating mana. I think that's fine. The servos will check Muxus for a long time. Like, indefinitely. And that's the only real attacker they have. Doesn't have trample, does it? +1/+1 until end of turn for each goblin. Yeah, whatever. Block, block, block. Yeah, I'll just control the number of goblins they have, and then servo can, or Foundry can indefinitely answer or block Muxus. Like, if they want to throw these goblins at me for damage, then they don't get the trade in combat. Hard cast Pyrokinesis. That's fucking cool. You got me good. I'm 1 mana short of turning that into a Thopter. It's fine. Oh, they were targeting Yuriko also. I didn't even see that happening. Okay, yeah, whatever. Still doesn't matter. I think still not sure if I want to kill this Sling Gang or not. So activate, untap, activate. Yeah, I think I actually do want to take this thing out. So maybe my plan to actually win the game should have been casting Brazen Borrower there in creature mode. That can fling itself at me. Whatever. Okay. That's a 0. So petty theft this. Play my Thopter. Now I have a 4/4. 4/4 is pretty serious, but now they can Chalice on 1. That's actually kind of rough. Or they could Chalice on whatever they want. They could like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could Chalice from 0 to 3 here. I guess they could go up to 4 if they want to sack their Prospector, but I don't think they do. Chalice on 3, yeah. Cast Brazen Borrower, you got it. So now I can't cast Yuriko, I can't cast Back to Basics. I have a second Brazen Borrower. If I ninja this one, I can bounce that. So I do have plenty of play here. If they don't want to just trade off Muxus, they have to attack with Prospector as well. So I can take 5 here to remove Girk Prospector from play. My life total is pretty cushy, and then I have these 1/1 armies to block with. They're on a shorter clock than I am right now. All right, Servo, untap, Thopter. Yeah, the extra land doesn't do anything. Yeah, so I can make a Servo, block, untap, turn it into a Thopter. And they're just dead on board. Yeah, they're dead. They don't have to attack. All right, yeah, so attacking is actually bad for them. Just actively terrible. I guess if I played my land, then I could make 2 servos instead of turning 1 servo into a Thopter. All right, servo, untap. Oh shit. Oh, okay, there were more. For a second I was like, oh no, are there only 5 basics in the deck? But there's 7. All right, thop it up. So they're on a 2-turn clock in the air. Game has been really good. It's a great first round. And I have mana sinks, so like Rashad and Port barely even matters. Ooh, are we gonna find a ninja? No. These are actually all not helpful. Same card, but I do have this land in hand. Awkward, but okay. Put back this and this. Do still have my land drop, so I attack with my flyers. I actually don't even think it's right to infiltrate. Like they're on a 1-turn clock right now, and I can make a 4/4 blocker at will with my 3 mana. Yeah, I'm just gonna let them take that. They've played 3 Pyrokineses already. All right, we got the GGs in the chat. That was awesome. Retrofitter Foundry showing up, doing work. This was a great showcase for the first round with this deck. On to the next one. I won the die roll for round 2. I have this hand with a lot of lands in it. It has Ponder. I'm going to keep this. If I find a Ornithopter, I do have a turn 2 Ninja. I have Ponder with Force. Either way, hit some land drops. Yeah, I don't mind this hand. Like Brainstorm, like a Ponder that includes Ornithopter and Brainstorm would be great. So I found the Ornithopter. I don't really want all these lands. But let's play the game that I've been given. Like, I kept this hand on the strength of Ponder finding Ornithopter, so I'm gonna that. Ooh, Island. Islands are not good at removing Ornithopters, generally speaking. If they play their own Ornithopter, I'm gonna freak out. All right. Didn't happen. Get a basic swamp here. Get my guy into play. They should know exactly what's coming. There's only one deck that plays Ornithopter. Finding a blue card off of this would be pretty nice. Just having Force of Will up and available. That's the same card I just shuffled away. Photobug. Alright, so now the top of the deck needs to pay off, or they need to just brick and not be able to answer this 2-3. Just let me draw cards with it and ranch for a while. Lanes, huh? That cast Swords to Plowshares. But they didn't cast Swords to Plowshares. Strange to me. I'm gonna attack with Ornithopter too, just to scare them. Alright, it worked. Alright, another ninja. Please don't Terminus me. So now I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. Those Swords of Plowshares is still brutal, though obviously if they had it, they would have cast it by now. Brainstorm's scary. It might be setting up a Terminus. Please don't. Okay, they skipped right through their draw step. No Terminus this time. Also no shuffle for that Brainstorm. Weird. I don't even care about something like Teferi right now, because if it bounces the Ninja, I just Ninjutsu it back in. Oh wow, counterbalance. Shame. Alright, please draw Yuriko. Yuriko. They did just Brainstorm, so there's a good chance they know what's on top of their deck, so I'll just attack with my stuff. And I guess it doesn't matter what order I stack these draw triggers. I was gonna say, like, in case I draw Yuriko, but the damage is already done. Okay, that if I had a stop at end of combat, I could have put the second Genius Infiltrator into play. Like, it doesn't do damage this turn, but it's at least in play. But I think actually having it in my hand and not in play is safer against the inevitable Wrath effect that's coming. So there is a cool play that if they try to Swords to Plowshares my Infiltrator in combat, I can flip it for a different one. All right, please don't have Force on top. They know their top card from Brainstorm. All right, but they revealed it anyway. Glad I didn't play the Ponder. So if they Plow a ninja. Okay, they're just doing it. That is the correct way to do that. Show me the Yuriko. All right, I got the Yuriko. Can't complain now. So now I can do the trick where I attack, put in Yuriko. If they try to remove her, I can flip her for Infiltrator. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Like, if they didn't just play 2 plows, I might lead on Infiltrator, so Yuriko ends up being the one that actually gets to connect, like if I do the flip. But they just played 2 plows after taking 2 or 3 hits from Infiltrator. So I feel like if they have another plow at this point, they're just complete monster. Oh, Force of Will, getcha. And Daze. Okay, that was not bad. I might as well play the Ornithopter. There's a good chance they can counter it with Counterbalance, but let's at least make them use their Brainstorm. Back to basics, that's cute. That's a card I play. And in combat there, I could have put the Infiltrator in. It would have dealt another damage and drawn 2 more cards, assuming everything goes right. But I was playing for assuming things were going to go wrong. Like, I can play around everything if I want to. Ooh, Energy Field. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to you by sources you don't control. All right, so that does work the way I don't want it to. I'm actually gonna let that resolve somehow. Is that wrong? That was probably wrong. They need to stop any cards from going to their graveyard, which means that their top of their deck needs to be perfect. Like if they cast Brainstorm, they lose. Setting up for a fight over Rest in Peace. Yeah, I should have forced that. That was so bad. Mistakes were made. Attacking anyway. Charlemu's boss. All right, they're still boss. So. So they will either go to discard or have to play a card at some point. And I'll just make sure I have a lot of Thopters in play when they do. I probably missed a chance to make some Thopters in their last end step. Oh. Just bringing on the fools. Loading up the board here. They have this turn and next turn to find their Rest in Peace before they have to commit something to the board. Okay, they made a land drop. That's not a fetch land. That also does the trick. I would like to find another force before it's all too late here. Card is put in your graveyard from anywhere, sacrifice energy field. Okay, fetch land. Too bad I don't play Wasteland. A little worried about the amount of clock that this uses compared to how much value it creates in the game. but I guess I'm going to keep. I'll start with Ornithopter instead of Changeling Outcast. So they play more zeros than ones, so that might have been wrong. Another counterbalance. Okay, if they put a spell on the stack, then they lose. Because I will either counter it, or they'll have to counter fight it back. So I'm just not going to make servos this turn. I don't think it matters. Let's keep getting looks at the top of this deck. Helm of Obedience. Okay, so they're dead. They're going to have to go to discard this turn, unless they have the Rest in Peace. Which, why would they be slow rolling it this long if they did? I guess there's no harm in it, though they should have been playing around Wasteland if possible. So, I don't know. Okay, so they are spewing the energy field here. One of us is about to lose the game. Though the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they would need to find a land, a Rest in Peace, and be able to float on top of their deck. And they didn't fetch before they brainstormed, so they're not going to be able to float what they want if they're going to... Oh, but they would need... Yeah, okay. There were too many moving parts there that I don't think they could have reasonably put together. All right, so I do want Force Negation. I want Brazen Borrower. Probably want Thoughtseize. That can blow up an energy field. What's less good? These Fatal Pushes. Basically no targets. Murderous Cut. Get out of here. And one more card's got to go. Probably Daze. That looks fine to me. Pretty squeaky little sideboard there. Yeah, so Brazen Borrower is the only way I have to break up the Rip combo if they get it. The combo is, if you haven't seen it before, Energy Field, you can't take damage. If a card goes to your graveyard from anywhere, sacrifice Energy Field. Rest in Peace, cards can't go to graveyards, they all get exiled. So you don't take damage anymore. And then with Helm of Obedience is X tap, mill X cards, or until you hit a creature card from your opponent's deck, put that creature into play. And if you activate it for 1, the game will try to mill until it hits 1 card. Or I think it's more specifically put it in the graveyard. So the game will try to put 1 card in your graveyard, but Rest in Peace exiles it instead. So that's an exile your deck combo for 7 mana, 2 for the Rest in Peace, 4 for the Helm, 1 to activate it. So that's how that deck works. I played a version of Shark Still that had that combo built into it, probably like 2 months ago at this point on the channel. You can go find that video. The thumbnail is MC Hammer dancing. It says you can't touch this, because that's what Energy Field is about. If there is in the world an energy field, I hope it's MC Hammer. Oh, no. I would keep this hand if any card in the hand at random was an island. I'm not going to keep a no-lander. Oh, this hand's so good. Almost. Okay. Rewarded. This hand's pretty good, too. I'm going to bottom a Changeling Outcast. Then I have to choose if I want to turn 1 Ponder or turn 1 Retrofitter Foundry. And I'm pretty sure I want a Foundry. Opponent's on 5 over there. They're going nice and low. Yeah, so I want to cast Retrofitter Foundry and then Ornithopter in that order. That way they can't plow my Ornithopter in response to Foundry. And I'll save the Ponder as my blue card for Force of Will, or I can just Ponder next turn and be threatening a 4/4 the whole time. Oh, they're on 4? What are they doing over there? What are they looking for? Are they just trying to like turbo mull for the combo? I assume they just had bad hands. Like, that's basically a blue-white control deck that has this combo in it. It's not a combo deck at all. Or it is literally a combo deck at all, but it is not a combo deck that you can just mull to 3 cards and win with. They chose to shuffle. Grix is pretty good. Still think Foundry's better than Ponder. So I have a 4/4 if I want it. If they have white mana, I'm definitely not making a 4/4. Alright, no 4/4s allowed. That's a blue card. I'll take that. Do I want an eye? Yeah, I think I do. I would prefer a swamp, but this can at least start making servos. Show me some respect. Right, them hitting their land drops is the scariest thing that could be happening right now. I'm gonna Ponder try to hit my land drop rather than just commit to making servos. Whoops. What it is. I guess with this force backup, maybe I should have just made a 4/4 right away. They would be like at 8 right now, basically dead. See where this Ponder goes. Like, I don't have a ninja or black mana, so yeah, I should just make a 4/4, I think. All right, nice. Got a replacement 4/4. Yeah, they would have been super dead if I just went for it. Fine, whatever. They're on a 2-turn clock. So all these cantripping is making me a little nervous. So now they need a sweeper. Swords of Plowshares isn't enough. And I do have double force, double blue card. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go Delver mode now. Could have done it 3 turns ago. They would be dead this turn if I did, but I tried to play smart against my opponent who mulled to 4. But they've hit all their land drops anyway. Like, I thought that playing slow and just making sure to get max value out of everything I do would be a better payoff. God, you paid a 3 drop into my days. All right, 8 power, 2-turn clock. They have 1 draw step left to win this game. All right, another one. Time to do some math. 4 + 1 is 5, and it is not 6. Like, what I'm thinking about right now is, I guess Ornithopter doesn't stop me from making a servo. Like, so I was thinking, like, what if they have Wrath? Like, a Wrath is the only thing I'm really worried about. And playing Thopter puts lethal on board, even if they have... Oh, God. Oh, that's bad. Hope this works. Okay. Oh, they had another one. Cool. Alright. Now I'm getting punished for not moving faster on making a 4/4. Time for a land deck. Brazen Borrower. And a Brazen Borrower. Alright, so Changeling Outcast and Ornithopter can both get out of here. I am going to assume that they boarded out their back to basics. Just going to keep Force Blue card in my hand. Find Brazen Borrower. Nope. Just going to keep playing cards that draw cards until I find Brazen Borrower. Or they get to 7 cards in hand and have to discard. So from Mull to 4, that's actually a huge help for them. Force of Negation is awkward because now even if they try to cast a spell, if I win the counter war, they still don't lose their energy field. Oh yeah, GG. If any of the cards in their hand is a spell, I guess they could Force a Negation this. But then I could Force of Will their Force of Negation. Alright, yeah, nice. Thoughtseize breaking the energy field. Love to see it. 2-0, next round. On the play in round 3. I'm going to keep this. It has the Changeling Outcast, turn 1 Enabler. I have Brainstormed a bunch of Disruption. I do have to fetch Underground Sea to make this hand function, which always makes me nervous, but a Wasteland's a thing. Let's go with it. It's on 6. I hope they're a combo deck. My hand's really good against combo. And I hope they're not a Wasteland deck, because my hands are really bad against Wasteland. This is another start that will immediately tell them what I'm playing, too. There's no deck that plays Changeling Outcast, just like there's no deck that plays Ornithopter. I hope they force it. Oh, bummer. Yeah, if they force this and I get to daze and protect my land, that would have been really nice. Alright, in the tank. Oh, they're going to see their own. Personal tutor. Okay, so they're playing Doomsday. Do I want to daze this personal tutor or save daze for something later? I'll just fire it off. They could have their own daze, but that's fine. It sets us both back a land, and I don't have a land drop anyway. This is a fight I'm fine having. Doomsday's the only deck that plays personal tutor. Fine. So we got through the days there. Alright, so if they go for Doomsday, I'll probably force it. So the options here are I can brainstorm looking for more blue cards. If I hit 2 blue cards, I can force twice. Or if I hit daze, I can counter twice. Alright, looks like it's not going to matter this turn. Maybe I'll just draw Yuriko and make this easy. Could be an end step brainstorm situation. Like if I don't want this fatal push, but I do want all my mana. Don't know if that's accurate. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because if I find a ninja off this brainstorm, I can ninjutsu, get the card advantage train rolling. All right, nice. So I'm gonna put back Force of Will and Underground Sea in that order. That'll flip, showing they get to see that I have Force of Will in hand, but they also take 5, which I'm a big fan of. Yuriko, here we go. Bang, the full 5. I do only have 1 blue card to pitch though. Like to these 2 forces, there's only 1 blue card, so I'm gonna need another turn without them going off here. If they cast Doomsday, they go to 6. You know what, go ahead, resolve it, go to 6. I can brainstorm this force back on top of my deck and deal 6 to them. See if that works. Yeah, I really wish I had another blue card to pitch, like fight over this with Force of Negation, get their hand empty, and then have my Force of Will brainstorm combo. Not sure what would have to be in their hand for them to kill me right now. Whatever, I still have Force. But they know I have Force and they still jam that Doomsday. So they must have some sort of interaction. I hope it's Daze. I can beat Daze. Or if I draw a second Brainstorm, I can also beat that. Yeah, whether they end up having it or not, I don't think is going to change the fact that I have lethal and I should just make the attack. Like they could have been using that Doomsday just as a Hymn to Tarak to get the force out of my hand. Alright, they've made their choices. They're at 6 life. I have lethal. Let's just see if their hand can beat it. Daze would be a great draw. Alright, let's see if this Brainstorm resolves. Brainstorm resolved, okay. So put back this and this. Back. Boom. Exactsies. Yuriko attacked for 6 twice. Doomsday did 6 on the in between. They just went from 18 to 0 in 1 turn. Ninjutsu. Okay. Force of Negation comes in. Thoughtseizes are coming in. Surgical Extraction has some options on it. Don't hate that. A Fatal Push can get out of here. The deck sometimes plays Baleful Strix or like tries to be fair after board, but I don't really respect that till I see it. Brazen Borrower is a flash threat if we get into like a dragged out game, but I don't think it's very good on its surface. Is it better than Surgical Extraction? Probably not. Yeah, the old Thoughtseize Surgical combo. Yeah, I'm in for this. Definitely have the tools for this matchup. Great hand. God, I love having Thoughtseize in my deck against combo. What a world. Delightful world. So I get to Thoughtseize, Baleful Strix, Infiltrator, holding up Force of Negation the whole time. Opponent's on 6 and still deciding if they're going lower. All right, 6 is the final answer. Ooh, a volcanic island. I know for a fact that it's not Dreadhorde Arcanist. That was the sideboard plan that Doomsday had for a while, but that card's gone. See you later. So this must just be for Pyroblast would be my guess. This Brainstorm's a little juicy. Like the turn 1 Brainstorm, do they have like Lotus Petal Dark Ritual Doomsday? Or are they just hiding good cards on top? Like that Brainstorm, doing it main phase is just pretty interesting for a variety of reasons. Like, they could have just hidden their good cards, but they don't know that I play discard necessarily. Like, they could have responded to Thoughtseize with the Brainstorm and definitely hidden their good cards. I don't know. I'm still going to Thoughtseize. I have this curve lined up. I want to check their hand, at least see what kind of counterplay they have for me. The rest, Doomsday, Force of Will, Personal Tutor. Alright, so they have a lot of counterplay is the answer. I will take the obvious one. They have multiple points of protection. Like, Personal Tutor can get another Doomsday. Like, did they find a land? Did they have a land on top? Ponder was their top card? Okay. They are in a pretty awkward spot here. They did not shuffle. They found the land. So do you duress me here or do you tutor here? Well, I guess you need the tutor for the Force of Will, but you also need the tutor to find the Doomsday, so yeah, their hand's a little wonky. Alright, cool. I'm bringing Strixie back, and I'm also gonna Ornithopter. So I'll get to, even if they duress me and strip my force, I still get to draw a bunch of cards next turn. Like that'll leave me with Brainstorm plus my draw step plus Infiltrator draw. Oh, that was a good draw. Come on, stop drawing good cards. As that also came off the Ponder, they did know it was coming. All right, now I don't know what's going on over there anymore. It's going to be a lot harder to map this out. There's some argument to forcing that, but I do really want to cast this Brainstorm. I'm going to Brainstorm first. Daze is good. So now I have Force and Daze and whatever the ninja draws. Okay, they're gonna have their Doomsday turn pretty soon here. If they spend a turn like checking me with Duress, that's gonna, like they're gonna need a Dark Ritual to resolve Doomsday here, or that also works. But they can't cast Duress if these are their 3 black sources. Maybe I should have pitched Infiltrator there, but I went with this. Alright, so they are all the way hellbent. Dazing here doesn't do anything. Okay, you've got your Doomsday. I think the Infiltrator drawing a raw card versus like What am I even looking for at this point? Like Yuriko? Maybe brainstorm finding Yuriko and trying to get over the finish line with damage would have been an option. But they're going from Hellbent here. All right, Lotus Petal's been picked. I'm not a Doomsday expert, but I feel like from Hellbent, this is either a multi-turn pile or, I don't know. Okay, so Street Wraith, Brainstorm. I don't actually know. Oh, with your Yuriko. Come on, deck. Show me potato salad. Get 2 flips here. All right, so I'm gonna do the draws first in case I find Brainstorm to set it up. Bummer. Goes poorly. Oh, they went to 1. Or they went to 2. So I can actually Surgical the Doomsday and make them shuffle their deck. Show me what you're working with. Okay, so these are the cards that they've chosen. With the forced shuffle here, if they draw the wrong thing, they just lose. All right, let me just pile lethal into play, super lethal. So if they draw Ideas Unbound, I daze it. If they draw Lotus Petal, the land, or anything, they just lose. Okay. GG's. Surgical for the clutch shuffle. Ninja's too good. Yuriko, the queen. All right, cool. Ninja's 3-0. Next round. I'm on the play in round 4. This is an easy keep. If I ponder up a Ornithopter, I have an easy turn 2 Yuriko. And as Force of Will backup, it's got the Retrofitter Foundry ready to play a grindy game. So let's just draw Ornithopter right now. You're thinking about it. I'm gonna force my Ponder. I wouldn't even fight over it. This is a weird long pause over a Ponder. All right, that's better. I don't actually think I want these things. Though, actually it might be fine because, yeah, so I put Infiltrator in hand, Yuriko, because I can Brainstorm, fix my hand, cast, Outcast, and be set up for the future if I stack it like this. Yeah, I think that's actually fine. And I took Infiltrator. I can pitch that to Force. If I took, I would have liked to pitch the redundant Yuriko instead. Or use some green deck. It's Elves or Maverick. Looking more like Maverick, though it could still be Elves. It could easily be either one. Those Plague Engineers on the board will be good here either way. Alright, B-Storm. Alright, that's a lot more lands than I need. I'm gonna shuffle away the Underground Sea, and don't think I need Retrofitter Foundry right now. I want to keep the Yuriko to pitch to Force of Will, the redundant Yuriko. Like, this wasn't Savannah, it's Forest, so if they are Maverick, they can't double plow this turn. If they're Elves, then I'll do my best, but hand is not well suited to beat Elves. But I do have an Elf of my own, so hopefully they respect me for that. Looking like elves right now. It's really awkward because there's only certain spells in elves you want to force a will, but they have Allosaurus Shepherd now, so if you don't force early, you might just lose it. Yeah, I mean, like, what am I going to do about that? They just got 2 redraws to find a Shepherd. They obviously didn't have a Shepherd to start the turn or they would have played it. It's free under Cradle, so there's like literally no reason not to play Shepherd, but I would still just lose if they have it next turn. Maybe Yuriko will draw a Fatal Push, and I can sleep a little easier. Though with 3 creatures in play and Cradle, Fatal Push doesn't even really set them back very far. I wish they would play faster, whatever they're doing. Like, you're on Elves. You can't do anything else. Just pass the turn. Out here, double queuing me. So Yuriko's coming in. And replaying the Changeling Outcast post-combat gives me more ninjas to trigger with next turn. And Double Force is pretty exciting. Unless they have the Shepherd, then it's terrible. I guess I could also have just made my land drop cast Yuriko and attacked with Changeling Outcast. That's basically the same as doing it this way. I guess doing it this way gives me the opportunity to draw Fatal Push or Murderous Cut. And just hardcasting Yuriko doesn't. Alright, found an Outcast. So I have force blue card, force blue card. Now it's just a race. Alright, I had something like that too. All these ninjas. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. 5. Are they passing the turn? That would be great. Attacking first. Okay. They attack, that usually means I'm getting another turn, because Craterhoof Behemoth attacking is how they win the game. I have to force Green Sun Zenith if they play one. Because it's going to get the what's it? The Shepherd. Alright, so I'm going to draw 4 cards, and they're going to take a lot of damage right now. And by a lot, I mean some amount to be determined. Oh, right, they can block Yuriko. If they double block Yuriko, I would have just gotten blown out. Didn't even think about that. Yeah, I guess I haven't played a match yet where my opponent just has creatures in play. Alright, now I have force blue card, and 4 ninjas to attack with. If they don't have Shepherd, I'm fine. If they do, I could lose on the spot. Ranger, okay. Feeling game 1's off of Elves would be really nice. Because game 2, I get the Engineer. I'm gonna attack with everything. At least force some blocks, force some trades, roll their board a bit. I have a second Yuriko, so if they double block her, that barely even matters. Alright, so I'm just removing Dryad Arbor and bouncing off Nettle Sentinel, and then I get 2 Yuriko and 2 Infiltrator triggers. I can set up, I guess it's not quite lethal here, but I'm going to stack the Yurikos first. So I draw, then I can brainstorm these 2 forces to the top and deal 1,000,000. Alright, that was pretty good. Somehow still haven't found a land in all of that. Like just finding an island so I have a Brazen Borrower here would be a big difference between that and not doing that. Wait, where did this Force of Negation come from? That's supposed to be Force of Will, right? I'm not going crazy. That's the second time this league that multiple Yuriko triggers have changed what's on top of my deck. Am I crazy? That was 2 forces, right? Force of Will? Oh my god. We're breaking Magic Online here. Symbiote. Really wish I had 2 Force of Wills in hand instead of this negation. Maybe I'll end up with bug compensation and a 5/0. The double whammy. Free Money Express. Like, if that happens once, I'm willing to believe I'm crazy, but luckily it's on video, so I can rewatch this and just figure out if I'm crazy or not. Okay, they're just dead. Ninja time. Our Plague Engineer's in the deck. Probably want Thoughtseize. And I like Brazen Borrower a lot, because Borrower can bounce Allosaurus Shepherd, and then you can counter the spell that they think is uncounterable. Just a pretty sweet play pattern you can have. Not sure that I want Force of Negation. Daze is pretty bad against elves too. So the engineers are coming in first, and then I have to decide what order I want the rest of these in. I think I want the first Thoughtseize before the second Brazen Borrower. And Murderous Cut is fine, but it's pretty slow. It's the only thing that kills Craterhoof. Foundry, yeah, like random 4/4s don't really beat elves because they have the board full of creatures and Wirewood Symbiote and stuff. So I think that's cuttable. Though it is very good if we get into a grindy game, like I'll have as many 1/1s as them going long. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to leave it there. Not because I don't think Thoughtseize and Brazen Borrower have utility, but because I just don't have room for them. Back to Basics also has utility in this matchup, but I just don't have room for it. I need to keep my deck functional. That's a turn 2 Infiltrator with Force of Will backup and Plague Engineer. This is the easiest keep of my life. Thoughtseizing me. Ain't a thing. Okay. Oh, okay. I actually think this is way better. Like, once this Plague Engineer's in play and they're being dead, like, this is a non-elf creature that I'd like to get under control early. So, I just got to get my way up to Plague Engineer, and then I'm good. Like, the Strix can be a redraw for the 3rd land if I need it. The Ingenious Infiltrator can be pitch to force. Look at that. Took 2 mana out of play there. Right, that's an elf, so I'll leave it there. Also an elf. That one's a lot better though. Let's hope I get another turn. Alright, there's the land. So I'm gonna play Strix here, and then hope that I just get to kill them with Plague Engineer. Good thing Plague Engineer is not symmetrical, because these would just die no matter what you name. You can name anything at all. Alright, so if their last two cards are Shepherd and Natural Order, I'm fucked. Did they thread the needle? Or are they just getting 4 for 1? Or 4 for 0'd, actually. Doesn't look good for them here. I'll attack first. And then I'll probably get the concession for this engineer. Can't imagine what they could have that matters at all after this blowout. 1, 2, 3, 4 elves. Oh, they can make them bigger for this turn, and then they just die on your untap step. Sure. Got me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not how that works. All right. 4 and 0 with ninjas. On to the final trophy round. On the draw in the final round, this hand has half of everything. Force but no blue card, Ornithopter but no ninja. If I had a cantrip, I'd keep it. I guess, you know what? I'm going to keep this for science. I have 7 ninjas and 8 cantrips in the deck. That would all make me pretty happy that I kept this hand. Let's see how it plays out. Draw Yuriko immediately and feel good about my life. Getting a peek. All right, don't feel great about that, but here's my Ornithopters. Could still draw a ninja next turn. Island Mishra's Bauble makes me think there's some sort of Urza or Emery deck. Yeah, this is Echo. Come on, Yuriko. Alright, so I can cast Brainstorm straight into this Hull Breacher. I have the Fatal Push, but I think I'd rather make them make the first move, just in case they have Force of Will also. But, okay, this hand is shaping up here. Hull Breacher resolves, and I can Fatal Push that next turn, so I'm gonna let them make their move, and then I'll pop this thing off. Am I more worried about Hull Breacher or Urza? Probably Hull Breacher. I guess I could fight over both of them. Sorry, Infiltrator. Love you. Alright, we're both empty, but I have Yuriko. I guess we're not empty. You have 4 cards in hand. I have Yuriko. Not even sure what my best draw here is. Probably Brainstorm. I'm going to deploy that Ornithopter in case I find a couple of ninjas. I don't know. I think it's better in play than not in play. They are a Chalice of the Void deck. I'm on empty. Die's pretty good against my deck. Less good without artifacts. Yeah. Deck. Let's find the Infiltrator. Yeah, I'm not mad about Fatal Push though. Attacking with Ornithopter to keep them honest. If they have like Dismember or something, I want to make them cast it. Not that I think that's a card they play, but it is a card that exists. They clearly have no artifacts they'd want to play because Sai would have put them into play if they did. Oh, that must have been a top deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are they just gonna echo? Full 6-mana echo? It looks like. Nice. Juiced my hand right up. Already made their land drop, so the limit to how explosive this can actually get. God. Amy. Bummer. Alright, so I'm gonna put back one of the Retrofitter Foundries and Force of Will. Not finding second ninja there is kind of lame. You're at 5. Now you know about Force of Will. You don't know I have 3 of them though. So you're very dead on board. Force blue card, force blue card. I guess this Ponder is kind of a freebie. I was about to say, it could find days, I guess. But does that actually help? They're gonna echo from the graveyard anyway. I'm gonna shuffle my library. Could just put this into play. Yep. I guess Fatal Push. If they successfully echo and play something like Hall Breacher, then echoing into Fatal Push could answer their creature, whatever it is. There's not gonna fuck around with anything I don't have to here. If they force back, then they can't tap their Ancient Tombs. I'll also force Echo from the graveyard here. So you're at 1. Out of here. All right, nice. They kind of floundered a little bit there, and that's why we got over the finish line. That was not a particularly explosive draw. Okay, Thoughtseize, Surgical, Force, Brazen Borrower. Leyline has some implication. Like, they are an Emery and Echo deck. How much can I actually afford to cut here? Daze isn't great. They have a lot of ways to jump the mana curve. Baleful Strix also isn't great. At least compared to what I would like to bring in. I don't think I'm going to have room for these ley lines. Fatal Push was pretty strong, though they didn't have a Chalice that game. I am in some trouble to a Chalice, so I think Brazen Borrower gets priority. Yeah, I think Borrower, Thoughtseize, and Force of Negation get the priority. Currently have 5 slots out, 5 slots in, and let me see if I have room for this other junk. Probably don't want the ley lines. Like, unless I have them all, I don't want any. And like, I'm not gonna like cast a turn 4 ley line and take over a mid game that way against this deck. So I have one more option to cut for Surgical, and I'm just gonna pass on it. I think staying proactive with my ninjas early and often, that's how I'm gonna win this game. I need to buy a little breathing room against their combo, and then I need to bury them in cards immediately. This is not the sauce. This one is better. I'm just dead to Chalice on 1. Here I am. Uh-oh. Shit. Here it is. Okay. You got your Chalice. Alright, I have Brazen Borrowers. I can hardcast Yuriko. Need to hit land drops. Oh, there's Brazen B. Right on time. Let's see how dead I am. Do they have the full just Hull Breacher, slam, bam, you're out of here? And looks like an Urza or Karn. They're both really bad. Oh, backup Chalice. That's bad too. Okay. Brazen Borrower is probably going to be on 3-1 duty this game. So it can be a 3-1, then it can be a Ninja. Need to find a blue source next turn, and that line maps out pretty well. Force Negation is good against Karn or Echo, bad against Urza, Emry, or Sai. Right, they don't have Sai, or they would have played that first. Namo. Karn, 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 Karn. A Walking Ballista. I don't think that's remotely beatable. I guess I can bounce it with Brazen Borrower. They can deal 1 to me, put it back in their hand. Or they can deal 2 to me and just let it die. What do I even do about this thing? Alright, I'll just draw my card. Oh, Yuriko, you sweet angel. Alright, so depending on how their hand looks, they might try to juice up Ballista and attack for 3. Try to get damage on the board. If they pump Ballista, I'll bounce it in response. Oh, or they can cast Urza and kill me. I can bounce the Construct, at least. That's worth something. But yeah, I'm dead here. I'm just going to concede. I can't beat these 2 Chalices. Alright, I'm on the play now. Do I want Strix back, or am I just scared of Chalice? Because I'm a coward. Yeah, let's go. Same deck, right back in. On the play this time. Makes things a lot better. And I do have a lot of action on 0, 2, and 3 mana. Just my hand didn't have it, and they happen to have 2 Chalices. Like I even drew the answer to Chalice, and they had a second one. And they used their Mishra's Bauble to know that I was drawing the 2 mana answer to Chalice, and then also made their Chalice on 1, their second Chalice on 1. So that worked out pretty well. They played it well. Doing what I can though. Like normally Daze is great on the play against Chalice decks, but unfortunately, if they just have like Lotus Petal or like Bauble, Bauble, Opal or whatever, it just is bad. Alright, I'm gonna ponder looking for Ornithopter. There you are. Alright, in under the Chalice. Yuriko's coming in hot. I have Brazen Borrower for an interaction. If they're trying to play another Chalice control game like they played last game, this is going to go poorly for them. If they can just dumpster me with the combo, this is going to go well. Ballista for 1. Okay. Alright, that doesn't kill Yuriko. I don't want the land on top of my deck right now. What I want is probably counterspells the most. This opal is on, so worth noting. Don't know what they do with it, but it is on. I have no protection. So 1, 2. Yeah, if they have Hull Breacher plus Echo here, I'm out of here. GG. Karn might be able to play through a Karn for a little while. It depends on if they have a second LED. That makes Retrofitter Foundry a blank. Oh, they had Echo. Okay, so they're grabbing some artifact with Karn, playing Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, that's... And now Echo's in their graveyard for some deal. Force of Negation right on time. If I bounce Ensnaring Bridge and attack them, then they have to block or I get a Yuriko trigger. Is that even good? I probably want to Brainstorm. If I find a Infiltrator, I didn't find an Infiltrator. All right, Retrofitter Foundry definitely taking a nap. Thoughtseize, not great, though it can combo with the Brazen Borrower over multiple turns. Yeah, I'll bounce Ensnaring Bridge. Get my Yuriko in there. I'm not going to attack Karn. I'm not convinced I care that much about it. I want to get these extra cards in my hand. Now they know I have Thoughtseize. So they can Echo out of the graveyard. I have Force for that. Alright, so their hand is Ensnaring Bridge and Echo. They can do both. Yeah, they play Bridge. What other answers do I have to Bridge? Like, if I counter the Bridge, then they can Echo, but they'd be... Oh, no, they can't, because they don't have 3 mana. This is an easy Force. Force of Will, pitching Brainstorm, because that leaves up the hardcast Force of Negation next turn. They can minus and get some 2-drop with Karn right now, but they don't have 3 artifacts to Echo with. Yeah, that's not bad. Plus on nothing, that's cool too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are 1 mana short of Lattice. Alright, Yuriko gets to bash again. Yeah, I don't even care about this Fatal Push. I'm just gonna attack. I'm gonna keep ignoring Karn. Try to make their life total 0. Raider, right? Yeah, they went to 5, and they have 2 Ancient Tombs over there. Okay, so this Force of Negation has to beat the Echo in their graveyard, the Karn in play, and their top deck. But they only have... Okay, they can only tap 2 of those. Yeah, this doesn't look good for them. Steal an artifact you own from outside the game. Go ahead, get it. Ecosynth Lattice. Pay that, you lose. Good game. Yeah, okay. Didn't even want to try for the Echo. Just, all right, Trophy Town, baby. Okay, so that was a pretty sweet 5-0 with ninjas. The games were really good. We had some long ones. We had some runaways, Delver style, and just like grindy Retrofitter Foundry games. Sideboard seemed pretty strong. Plague Engineer was clutch. I'm glad we had as many of those as we did. So, and I don't really have much critique over this deck. Chalice of the Void was tough. There are 2 Brazen Borrowers. I don't know if we want something like Ratchet Bomb or Engineered Explosives that can clean that up, or if it's just let Brazen Borrower and the counterspells do the work. That probably is just better. So, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about the list. I really liked it. It felt really strong. We beat a variety of decks, and that was great. Thank you, Chris, for submitting this deck. I think Chris also submitted, I think I also 5-0'd with Chris's last submission. So Chris has great taste in decks, and I'm winning a lot with them. So looking forward to working with Chris more in the future. Everyone else, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.